Veteran Congressman Charles Rangel is vowing not to go down without a fight. Rangel, who is facing an ethics trial, made it clear in a 37-minute speech Tuesday that he would not resign. Wyatt Andrews has more from Washington.
Oh, you got to expel me from this body.
In an emotional and raw defense against 13 ethics charges, Charles Rangel mixed small doses of contrition.
I apologize for any embarrassment that I've caused.
Into a speech of political defiance.
Fire your best shot in getting rid of me.
And to any Democrat, starting with the president, who hoped that Rangel would resign to avoid an embarrassing ethics trial just before the elections.
Don't leave me swinging in the wind until November. I deserve and demand the right to be heard.
Rangel said he wants a trial and isn't going anywhere.
Hey, if I was you, I may want me to go away too. I am not going away. I am here.
But he is also in serious trouble. Rangel is charged with not reporting his income on a beach villa in the Dominican Republic, his taxable gains on a condo in Florida, not reporting several large investment accounts, and with raising money for his Rangel Center at the City College in New York from dozens of companies needing favors from his committee.
I apologize.
Despite his apology for breaking House rules, he minimized most of the charges as technical.
There has to be a penalty for grabbing the wrong stationery.
But not criminal.
It may be stupid, it may be negligent, but it's not corrupt.
On the House floor itself, this was real-world drama. A man who had clawed his way to the peak of political power, now shocked to find himself deserted by so many friends.
But for God's sake, just don't believe that I don't have feelings, that I don't have pride.
Some Democrats facing tough re-election campaigns wanted Rangel to take one for the team and quit before his ethics problems became their election issue. But Rangel called that thinking unfair to him and even asked at one point in his speech, "What about me?" Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Joining us now from Washington is Manu Raju, congressional reporter for Politico. Manu, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So Rangel says he is not going anywhere. Is this something that the Democrats want to see going into the midterm elections?
Absolutely not. I mean, they came back today hoping that they could focus on jobs and the economy. Instead, what they saw was a spectacle on the House floor. There were many Democrats afterwards who were absolutely fuming. This is a guy who came and completely undermined their message today. They did not want to be talking about Charlie Rangel, and now that's what's been the news coverage from here on out instead of what they've been doing on the floor.
Yeah, and Rangel says the only way to get rid of him is expulsion. Is there a possibility he could be expelled from the House?
Anything's possible, but that seems like an unlikely scenario right now. He wants to have his ethics trial happen before his primary in September, and the reason why he went to the floor today was so he said so he could air out his defense before his primary, because the trial is unlikely to happen before then. It really looks like the only way to get rid of Charlie Rangel is if the voters of New York do that this fall.
Okay, and the House took care of some business on Tuesday, passing a $26 billion jobs bill that was aimed at protecting teachers and other public service workers. $26 billion. Where is this money coming from?
Well, a big cut came to food stamps, about $12 billion worth. It was a big, it was very difficult for a lot of Democrats to swallow. This was money that was earmarked through the economic stimulus program that was approved last year. But in order to get this bill through the Senate, they had to take a cut at the food stamp program, as well as there's some funding for renewable energy that was cut from, that was needed to offset the cost of this package, as well as some foreign tax credits that were given out to multinational companies. So there are a slew of changes in order to meet, to offset the $26 billion cost of this package.
Okay, a slew of changes. Is this election time politics, perhaps?
Well, you know, in a sense, the Democrats think this is a good political winner for them because they could say that they're saving teachers' jobs. But I don't know, the Republicans think that it's good for them, too. They say there's another bailout at a time when voters are sick and tired of deficit spending in Washington. But, you know, in reality, this is something that the Democrats wanted to get done a long time ago, but they just struggled to get it through Congress. And it's really about half the size of what President Obama called for many weeks ago. So the timing just happens to be close to the election.
Okay, and Congress is mourning the death of a longtime senator from Alaska, Ted Stevens. What will his legacy be?
Well, he'll always be remembered as someone who fiercely guarded the interest of his state. He was one of the fathers of statehood in Alaska, and he built it by sending billions of dollars back home for projects big and small in order to spur economic development there. He was known as Uncle Ted back home, and he was feared in the Senate for his nature and for his combative ways. And I think that he'll be remembered for the way he guarded his state and his state's interests.
Okay, Manu, Raju from Politico, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.